Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Sir, good morning. You are Austin Nixon.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. And Mr. Nixon, you're before the court on four matters. 899 is before the court for review. 286, 409, and 444 is before the court for pretrial conferences. It does appear that Mr. Nixon is represented by the Horwath law offices on each of these cases. Ms. Ganem, how would you like to proceed this morning?
Your Honor, I was not able to speak with Mr. Nixon. He was in single cell, so I would need a breakout room very quickly with him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So, Mr. Nixon, we're going to go ahead and put you in a breakout room so that you can speak privately with Ms. Ganem. If you need any assistance getting into that breakout room, please let the officer know and they can assist you with that. Ms. Ganem, have you had sufficient opportunity to speak with Mr. Nixon?
I have, Your Honor, and Mr. Nixon is opting to resolve his pretrial matters today, and we have filled out the paperwork in open court.
Thank you very much. Mr. Nixon, I have in front of me a document entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty. Sir, have you gone through this document in its entirety with Ms. Ganem? Sir, you're muted. I'm going to need you to unmute, please.
I said, sir, yes, I have.
Thank you very much. Did she read this document to you or did you read it to yourself?
We read it together.
Read it together? Okay. And this indicates to me that you are 31 years of age and have completed the 11th grade. Is that accurate?
That's accurate, sir.
This document indicates to me that you are asking the court to accept pleas of guilty to the following offenses. Under case number 1899, criminal trespass in the first degree, unlawful possession of a controlled substance. Under case number ending in 0444, malicious mischief in the third degree. Under case number ending in 0409, theft in the third degree. And contingent upon the court's acceptance of those pleas of guilty to those offenses, it appears the city is going to be moving to dismiss case number ending in 0286. Mr. Nixon, is that your understanding of how you're asking to proceed this morning?
Yes, sir.
All right. And have you had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Ganem about the elements or what the charges are that you're pleading guilty to?
Yes, sir, I have. And we've spoken, we've summed up, you know, what I've done and everything. So I'm fully understand and fully clear of what I'm being charged with.
Okay, thank you. Paragraph 5 of this document lists out a number of constitutional rights that you're waiving by entering this plea. Have you had an opportunity to go through each and every one of those rights that you're giving up with your attorney?
Yes, sir, I have.
All right. It appears that on cause number ending in 899 and 409, the prosecutor is going to be recommending credit for time already served and for the case to close. And then on cause number ending in 444, the charge of malicious mischief in the third degree, it appears that the prosecution is going to be recommending 364 days in jail, 356 days suspended for 12 months on condition that you pay restitution, have no criminal law violations. And that appears to be it. Is that your understanding, Mr. Nixon, of what the prosecution is going to be recommending as a sentence?
I understand that they're recommending a sentence. Yes. Yeah. So I'll be serving a sentence.
Well, yeah, Your Honor, if I could just kind of, it's hard to write on this form. The 899 matter is a review matter. It's already been resolved. And with regard to the theft 3, it is a credit for time served and closed. I just wasn't able to write that in there, so it kind of looks funky. But that's the intent of the parties.
I got you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so usually on the post-disposition matters, we don't include those charges in that case number in the plea of guilty because those pleas have already been entered. That case number and those charges are usually dealt with in the separate document, which is an order on review because it's a review matter.
Okay.
But I think we can go ahead and move forward with this now that I have a better understanding. Okay, so it looks like essentially what it's going to boil down to is a suspended sentence for 12 months, Mr. Nixon, 8 days in jail, credit for 8 days served, 356 days suspended for 12 months on those conditions. Is that your understanding of what the prosecutor is going to be recommending to the court?
And in that case, that is my understanding of what the prosecutor, that's what I understand out of all of it.
Okay. And I want to make sure you understand that is just a recommendation. The court is not bound by that recommendation. Do you understand that?
Understood. Thank you for the clarification.
You bet. I also want to check with you in paragraph G. This is the part of the plea form where it advises someone who's charged with a crime that a guilty plea could result in adverse immigration consequences if they're not a citizen. Are you aware of that, sir?
I am aware of that.
All right. Ms. Gannon, with your permission, I'm going to put Mr. Nixon's initials in that spot on paragraph G. Any objection?
Sure, no objection.
Mr. Nixon, paragraph 11 asks you to state in your own words what it is that you did that makes you guilty of the crimes of malicious mischief in the 3rd degree and theft in the 3rd degree that you're asking to plead guilty to this afternoon. That statement reads as follows. On February 25th, 2025 in Lakewood, Washington, I knowingly and maliciously caused or damaged property of another when I broke a window. On February 13th, 2025 in Lakewood, Washington, I took property from Target with the intent to deprive Target of that property. Sir, are those true and correct statements of what it is that you did that makes you guilty of these 2 crimes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Nixon, has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to enter these guilty pleas?
No, sir.
You're doing this of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Nixon, for the record at this time, I'm going to ask you, under cause number 25L000409, to the charge of theft in the 3rd degree, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Under case number 25L000444, to the crime of malicious mischief in the 3rd degree, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Thank you. The court is going to accept Mr. Nixon's guilty pleas to the 2 offenses in this matter, or in these 2 different cases. The court is making a finding based on my conversation with Mr. Nixon that he's entered into these guilty pleas knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily after having had a full opportunity to consult with his counsel. It appears to the court Mr. Nixon understands the elements of the charges that he has pled guilty to, the consequences of those pleas, and based on Mr. Nixon's statement in the plea form, there is a factual basis to support entry of those pleas of guilty, and the court will do so at this time. Mr. Graham, is there anything that you would like to add to the city's recommendation regarding sentence under case number 409 and 444?
No, Your Honor, nothing to add.
Thank you. Ms. Ganem, anything you would like to add on behalf of Mr. Nixon?
Nothing additional, Your Honor. I did remind Mr. Nixon that the conditions that were imposed under the 899 matter on for review still do need to apply. He does have a plan upon release to contact Greater Lakes, reset his appointment, and get that going.
So can I ask one question? Upon that agreement, the judge will make a final hearing now, or final decision now, or has made the final decision.
With regard to your sentence,
Yes, ma'am. In the agreement.
he's about to let you know what
Oh,
his.
okay. Thank you so much. Sorry for the interruption.
No, that's okay, Mr. Nixon. I appreciate anytime somebody has questions that they want answered, that they're speaking with their attorney about that.
Thank you.
Mr. Nixon, you have the right to make a statement before the court imposes a sentence. You don't have to say anything, but it is a right that you have. I'm not going to hold it against you if you choose not to say anything. Is there anything you'd like to tell the court before the court imposes sentence?
Like, I just want to apologize for my behavior and coming back multiple times. I'm going through something right now, and I just want to apologize for it. I'm not trying to cause like distress or cause any sort of chaos in the community or be, of vile to the community in any sort of vandalizing way or a victimizing way. I'm a good father. I'm a good dad. I'm a good person. I just need to get my head out of my ass, excuse my language, and really figure out a treatment plan and get some sort of mental help to where I could, be of greater assistance to the community and be more obstructive and procreative in the community and not dismantle it or be an obstruction. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nixon. Mr. Nixon, I'll tell you, I agree with everything you just said. It's also very striking to the court that you're obviously a very intelligent and articulate individual. And I agree with you. Someone with your abilities should be doing something other than sitting in the Nisqually jail, because I think you have a lot to offer your family and also a lot to offer the community as well as yourself. And so I commend you on everything you said. I agree with you, and I wish you the absolute best of luck in getting those issues under control and getting yourself back on the right path. The court is going to impose sentence, I think by and large, as recommended by the parties. I'll certainly let either party jump in if they have any questions about the court's pronouncement of sentence. On both of the counts, the theft in the third degree and the malicious mischief third degree, the court is going to impose 364 days in jail, suspend 356 days, giving Mr. Nixon credit for 8 days that he's already served. The court will impose no fine. The sentences will be the remaining 356 days on both counts will be suspended for a term of 12 months. The only conditions that the court is going to impose are that Mr. Nixon have a law-abiding behavior and that he pay restitution by later order of the court on the charge. I believe that's on the charge of malicious mischief in the third degree involving the window. So I'm going to indicate that restitution will remain open for the statutorily authorized period of 180 days, and that the restitution amount will be by later order of the court, an amount to be determined. The court is also going to grant the city's motion to dismiss with prejudice case number 25L000286. Court is indicating that given what it sounds like is an agreed calculation of 8 days credit for time already served, the court is going to indicate that Mr. Nixon is to be released upon the jail's certification of service of that 8-day sentence.
Thank you.
Court to sign that judgment and sentence. Mr. Nixon, good luck to you, sir. You should be released later today.
Thank you so much.